And welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Junior Garcia, and here are some of the stories we have for you tonight. 3 arrested for illegal gun possession. Young Voters Group launched. And Summer Fun Series visits Wim Museum. These stories and more up next on News Channel 8.
TV8 News is brought to you by Total Excellium. More protection, more miles. Total, you know where to turn.
In tonight's top story, 3 St. Croix men were arrested after alert citizens called police when they observed gun activities in an area close to Grove Place. Melanie Rames has more.
Concerned citizens called 911 on St. Croix, and police were dispatched to a situation in progress where a group of males were seen pointing handguns at other males. Officers recovered 2 firearms and arrested 3 suspects. The incident occurred on July 6th at about 5:15 p.m. Emergency dispatch operators told police that 3 men standing next to a dark blue Chevy Cobalt were pointing the handguns. Officers traveling to the scene noticed a dark blue Chevy that fit the description of the vehicle involved and stopped the vehicle. There were 3 males in the vehicle. However, 1 male grabbed a black backpack and fled from police. After an intensive search, officers captured the 3rd suspect and confiscated the backpack, which contained 2 firearms and a small amount of controlled substances. Arrested were Thomas Denier, age 25, Lawrence T. Bethel, age 22, and Duane Pierre Luis, age 18. The suspects were charged with 2 counts of unauthorized possession of a firearm and placed on bails of $25,000 each. They were remanded to the custody of the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility pending their advisor rights hearing. The confiscated weapons were entered into the National Integrated Ballistic Information Network, or NIBIN, for tracing. 1 weapon was identified as being involved in a criminal case in Florida. VIPD officers and Florida officers will continue investigating the origins of this weapon.
In other crime news, police on St. Croix have arrested a 24-year-old man for possession of an illegal weapon, drugs, and fleeing from police. Melanie Rames has the details on that one.
Police on St. Croix arrested Shamari Elms, charging him with unauthorized possession of a firearm and other charges. Elms was arrested based on a warrant issued on June 23rd. Police said on April 19th at about 9:40 p.m. they saw a vehicle swerving on the road in the Annis Hope area and made a traffic stop. When officers approached the vehicle, they smelled the strong odor of marijuana. Police asked the driver and Elms, who was a passenger in the vehicle, to step out of the car, which they did. Elms immediately began to run from the area and was pursued by police. Officers saw Elms fall and drop a bag that he was carrying and then run again. Officers retrieved the bag. However, Elms eluded police at the time. The bag contained a loaded black Colt .48 revolver as well as marijuana. Police continued to investigate this case and issued a wanted poster for Shamari Elms, who is 24 years old. Elms was arrested on July 7th at about 10 a.m. He was charged with unauthorized possession of a firearm, possession of ammunition, failure to report firearms obtained outside or brought into the Virgin Islands, possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, and interfering with an officer discharging his duty. His bail was set at $25,000, which he was unable to post, and Elms was remanded to the custody of the Golden Grove Adult Correctional Facility pending his advisor rights hearing.
New tonight, as we approach the primary elections in August, the Get Involved VI group has launched an aggressive campaign to engage young voters.
Hi, my name is Sulaine Walker. I'm a member of Get Involved VI. We are a group of young professionals, locals, who have decided that it is time for a change. We are a group that started as complainers, and now we are acting. We have decided to host and to hold voter awareness/voter registration drives. The purpose of the group is to increase the voters between the ages of 18 to 40. We understand that there's some apathy in our community about us not having a strong middle class, as well as the senators not speaking to our needs. So we want our group to not only just register to vote, but actually go out and vote and then hold our elected officials accountable. This is our first focus right now, is to get people registered to vote. In our opinion, this is a theory behind our group. Once we get more voters registered to vote, the politicians will have to pay attention to us. We are a bigger electorate, and as such, we have to, they have to take us into account. They have to consider whether or not we want higher taxes, lower taxes, income changes when it comes to GERS. All those different things affect our group because if we look at it in the Virgin Islands, there really isn't a middle class. So all the individuals between maybe the ages of say 25 to 40 aren't as able as our counterparts in other places in the nation to thrive and to own homes and businesses. We are a non-partisan group. We endorse no candidates. And we also are working on zero funding. So we want to say thank you to Fresh Bistro, our DJ for tonight, who is country. We want to thank Millie Media for our logo. And we also just want to say thank you to everyone, the community that has given us such great support over the past few weeks that we premiered and opened our group.
We look forward to seeing more from this group. Channel 8 continues its efforts to combat crime in the territory. Here is Ashley Messiah with your weekly Crime Stoppers report.
Good evening, everyone. This is Ashley Massa with your weekly Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers would like to thank you for making a difference. Let us help make the USVI a safer place in the world to live, work, and raise a family. To do that, we have to make sure that no crime goes unsolved. And to do that, everyone needs to speak up. If you know something, say something. St. Croix, on Tuesday, July 1st at about 10:30 p.m. in Estate Mambiju area, residents hearing gunshot to 911. Police officers released and found 27-year-old Jesus Brown, who was recently released from prison, lying unresponsive between two parked cars. This is the 9th homicide in St. Croix and the 21st for the year. If you know anything about this murder, please let us or the police know. St. John. On July 2nd, police received a report of a burglary at a residence in Estate Carolina. The burglary happened between 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Although the home was ransacked, it's unknown at this time if anything was stolen. Please help police solve this crime by telling us what you may know. St. Thomas, on Saturday, June 28th at 6:15 p.m., 911 dispatched police officers to a shooting on Smith Bay Playground. Officers discovered 31-year-old Irvin Clendenin Jr. with gunshot wounds slumped over in the driver's seat of a gray vehicle. There were also several minor females who were in the passenger seat of the vehicle. One of them had been shot in the hand while the other female had minor injuries. All of them were taken to the hospital for medical attention. Mr. Clendenin died several hours later. Be a part of the solution. Continue to make our island a safer place to visit by telling us what you know about these or any other crimes at www.crimestoppersusvi.org or by calling 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Or you can text USVI plus your message to crimes at 276437. If your text leads to an arrest or the recovery of stolen property, illegal drugs, or weapon, you will receive a cash reward to be paid according to your instructions. This is Ashley Messiah recording your weekly Crime Stoppers for News Channel 8.
And thank you, Ashley. Stay tuned. We have more news right after this.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And now, here is Cynthia Graham with your nightly Caribbean report.
Thank you, Junior. A 36-year-old paraplegic man from Jamaica was sentenced to 4 years in prison yesterday after he was found guilty of trying to conceal a large quantity of marijuana in his wheelchair at a Trinidad airport more than 2 years ago. Trinidad's senior magistrate imposed the sentence on Aaron Lewin, a roadside vendor from Clarendon Parish, Jamaica, after he pleaded guilty to the charge of attempting to traffic close to 11 kilograms of marijuana in December 2011. Lewin has been sentenced to 4 years hard labor, 1 year less than the 5-year maximum. The government of Honduras says it is suspending the search for 8 miners trapped since last Wednesday in a collapsed gold mine in the south of the country. Geologist Annabel Godoy, the head of the search, told reporters Monday that the chance that the miners are alive is close to nothing. Godoy said the search was being suspended in order to not risk any more lives in the hunt for the miners. 3 of the 11 trapped miners were rescued from the illegal San Juan Arriba mine last week. And finally tonight, the Caribbean's smallest sovereign country is undergoing a hotel development boom. The Twin Island Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis is seeing a significant uptick in hotel and resort construction and development, including Petition Hill, which will soon open its first hotel. The construction boom promises to provide hundreds of employment opportunities for residents, according to St. Kitts Information Minister Nigel Carty. This has been tonight's Caribbean Report. I'm Cynthia Graham. We'll be back here tomorrow to bring you more news and views from in and around the Caribbean. Back to you, Junior.
Thank you, Cynthia. It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for another exciting installment of the Channel 8's Summer Fun Series. Today, we took our cameras to St. Croix's historic Estate Wim Museum for a tour. Let's take a look.
If you're like me, you probably appreciate a fun day at the museum. And so that's exactly what we're doing today. We are here at the beautiful historic Estate Wim Museum in Frederiksted. The museum has a variety of activities throughout the summer and of course all year long. And they have a big event happening here next week, so let's go find out about it. I am joined by Mrs. Sonia Dow, the Executive Director of the St. Croix Landmarks Society. Mrs. Dow, thanks for having Channel 8 here.
Thank you for featuring St. Croix Landmark Society in our activity coming up this weekend.
Absolutely. So you do have a wonderful activity, an annual event that you put on. It's called Come Home to St. Croix. Tell us about that.
This is our 4th annual Come Home to St. Croix, which is a celebration of our culture, our history, and our family connections. We thought 4 years ago to begin to put together an event around which families or classes can plan a reunion. So all you have to do is get your people here. We create the activities. We start on Sunday, July 13th, with a ceremony to honor our ancestors, because that's where we should always start, honoring those who went before us and paved the way for us. We pour a traditional African libation, and we invite people who are here to come up and add the name of their ancestor to the roll call that we do, so everyone can participate. After the ceremony, we're going to open our new major exhibit, which is called Has, Hasmen, and Has Racing. And for those for whom Crucian is not their first language, that can be translated as horses, horsemen, and horse racing. And we're looking at the cultural, the social, the economic impact that horse racing has had in St. Croix and in the Virgin Islands at large. So there's a wonderful exhibit of photographs, there are interviews with people who've been involved with horse racing in one capacity or another over the years, and that will open on Sunday. It's going to be open at the Estate Wim Museum for a year. And it's a work in progress.
So we're making our way around the beautiful historic Wim Museum. And Mrs. Dow, we are here at My Granny House. So please tell us about this wonderful little structure that we're standing
My
on.
Granny House is a permanent exhibit that we created 2 years ago with the help of Dwayne Howell and Mrs. Josephine Hector. They were the curators for this exhibit. And our idea was to have the museum, because we are the Museum of St. Croix, St. Croix's history and culture, to have the museum show more than the Great House on the slave quarters. Where did people live after slavery and as they were able to get access to land? So this is a replica. of what my granny house might have been like, a very small structure where you might have had your own children, your spouse, maybe a grandparent, maybe cousins who came from St. Thomas because someone was sick or whatever, and they all fit in this very small space. That's hard for us to imagine now fitting in, where we've gotten used to having a large bedroom and a large kitchen and everything. But this was that kind of house where you were still using a coal pot, where you were still cooking mostly outdoors, where you didn't have indoor plumbing, so you had a pole that you used at night, and then somebody had to get up in the morning and toss that, where you have, there's one bed in my granny house, but the lodging is rolled up underneath it, so at dusk everybody could find their corner, find their place to spread out their lodging.
What's the lodging? Tell us about the lodging.
The lodging is your bedding that you would sleep on because you're sleeping on the floor. Most houses didn't have 5 and 6 beds for everybody that lived there. So you had your little padding that you created so that everybody had a corner. And in the night, if you had to get up to use the pole, you had to be careful that you didn't step on anybody as you moved around. So it's just to give Cruisians and visitors a chance to come and visit with their children and begin a conversation about the past.
Well, this is absolutely fascinating to me. I don't know if you're as excited as I am, to just be visiting these beautiful grounds. And, please come out. There's so much happening here on St. Croix all summer long at the WIM Museum, not forgetting the annual Come Home to St. Croix event happening
July 13th to the 20th. We start on a Sunday, we end on a Sunday.
Perfect. Thanks so much. And I'm Cynthia Graham reporting for News Channel 8.
Sounds like a great family summer outing. Be sure to check it out. Don't go anywhere. We have more news straight ahead.
This newscast has been sponsored by Mario's Virgin Crystal. Let us save you the hassle of lugging those jugs around. Purified bottled water conveniently delivered to your home or office. Also available in your favorite grocery store. Call 773-2810.
This is News Channel 8. This is News Channel 8.
And here's a look at your 411 Sports Update.
We're good to go. Waiting on the break. Gate bus and they're running. Good break for them all. Moving well on the outside is Joyful Minister. So is Grady Times. Then you can find in the 3-pat Win All. So as they prepare to pass the wire for the first time when it means nothing, that's Grady Times leading the way. Win All running second. On the outside, third is Joyful Minister. Moving in alongside the rail is Burn the Hop. They ran the opening corner in 22. Saving ground and alongside the rail as well as Simon Says Run. Then you can find Kid from Camarillo, Unguided Missile, and your trailer, Mr. Unitas. As they enter the back stretch, that is Grady Times leading the way. An advantage of 2 lengths on Win All. Running third and alongside the rail is Burn the Hop. They ran the half in 46 and 2. Then you can find Kerwin John and Joyful Minister running in fourth. Moving in between horses, Simon Says Run. Then it's Kid from Camarillo, Unguided Missile, and your trailer, Mr. Unitas. What a horse race on the front end. It's a gap of approximately 4 between first and 7. Burn the Hop was squeezed as they exit the back stretch. They ran the first 6 in 1:11 and 4. That is still Grady Times leading the way. At the top of the turn, it is Grady Times, but saving ground and alongside the rail is Simon Says Run. And Simon Says Run is now yelling the instructions. And down the stretch they come with 1 long to go. Simon Says Run. Try to hold off Grady Times. Simon Says Run with a 16 to go. Simon Says Run wins, and everybody else loses. Grady time second. Close for third between Winall and Mr. United. And it's Burn the Heart. Joyful Minister. Unguided missile.
You are definitely right. Hit the nail in the afternoon. This has been running. You are definitely right. Hit the nail in the This has been running up tongue anthem. Slaving, parachute corner, which I don't know have been running. To include it. He got right out of a B-race. Right? And he had to be forced to run parachute corner. That where one ahead fourth came in.
Will it rain? Will it snow? Who knows? Don't go anywhere. We have your weather coming up next.
Your weather coming up next. Your weather.
And here's a look at your local weather.
Tonight's weather will be mostly clear with a low around 76 degrees. On Thursday, it'll be sunny with a high near 92. East wind 18 to 20 miles per hour. On Thursday night, there'll be scattered showers, partly cloudy with a low around 76. Chance of precipitation is 50%. On Friday, there'll be scattered showers, mostly in the morning, sunny with a high near 92. East wind around 18 miles an hour. Chance of precipitation is at 50%. On Friday night, there'll be isolated showers, mostly clear with a low around 76. Chance of precipitation is 10%. This has been Alexis Barnes with Channel 8 News Weather.
And thank you very much for tuning in. That's all we have for local news. Do not forget to like us on Facebook at WSVI-CH8. And also follow us on your Twitter at WSVI-TV News. And be sure to subscribe to Channel 8 on your YouTube at WSVI-TV News Channel 8. Watch us on your computer, plus use the free Dish Anywhere app to view us on DVR or anywhere in the world on your smartphone or tablet. I'm Junior Garcia, and World News is up next. Good night, Virgin Islands.
TV8 News was brought to you by Total Excellium. More protection, more miles. Total. You know where to turn.